All right, what's good, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Wire Sports Media. This is your midday Wednesday edition of Live Wire Sports Media. So, the big game tonight, Cy-Hawk rivalry. Iowa Hawkeyes, Iowa State Cyclones. Ava Hyden, Addie Crooks. The big matchup that we all be waiting for. The big test that Iowa has been waiting for. Yes, the big test. But Iowa has dominated Iowa State for a hot minute. Even last year's matchup, when they had Lucy Austin, Hannah Stokely, Ava Hyden was a freshman at the time. They still took care of business. Could this be any different than the last couple of meetings? Well, guess what? We're going to see. But we got Taylor and Addie giving a report and what they think about this matchup.
For practice the day before and then shoot around in games. So I just like to switch them up because I run through shoes pretty fast. So try to keep them in a rotation so I don't break them all.
Multicolor, how did you come up with that pattern, or was it just like, oh, these look good together?
No, I did that in high school a little bit with my friend Reagan, and then kind of thought this year I could bring that back a little bit, just have fun with it.
Addie, what have the upperclassmen and the Iowa natives told you about this game?
Just that this is a very exciting game. You know, I've seen it on TV all these years, but I'm excited to finally be out there on the court, see it live. But it's going to be a lot of energy, a lot of fun. We're ready.
Taylor, I know the last few weeks have been kind of all over the board with what you've been asked to do and expected to do. How do you feel like that's been beneficial? And then also moving forward, what do you feel like that stretch has done for your confidence and all that?
Yeah, it's definitely been, like you said, all over the board. We've sadly had some injuries, some just time shifts and everything. So just, game experience is always good for confidence and for, like you said, just building that confidence. And whatever happens moving forward, I'll just use what I've been doing and try to keep building off of that.
Addie, I know that you haven't maybe played in front of an environment like what Hilton Coliseum is going to be, but you've certainly played in some high-level things from AAU and stuff like that. Is there anything in your AAU days or any events that you've been in, maybe even the McDonald's All-American Games, is there anything that maybe you feel like has kind of helped and might, like an event that might help you in terms of an environment like that it'll be like tomorrow?
For sure. Yeah, I think all those games really helped me. But honestly, high school playing against Etiwanda at Etiwanda, I did that back-to-back years. I feel like it'll be a similar vibe to
that. Addie, how much do you feel like you're...
Now, before I continue, I have not seen any reports yet about Chit Chat Wright. Rather, Chit Chat will be playing. Now, she could be playing tonight. They probably announced a little bit later. They still got a lot of time. They got over 5.5 hours left to go before this game kicks off. But nevertheless, in the beginning, they was asking Taylor about what shoes she going to wear. Is she's going to wear the Caitlin Clark shoes that you have seen her wear? You have seen Addie Deal wear Caitlin Clark shoes, a lot of them. Last game against Rutgers, Taylor did wear Mitch Mack shoes, something that she's been doing for a while. So that was the first part of that interview. But let's continue before we jump into Jensen.
Your confidence is elevated these last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely got up there. I feel confident on the court. I'm ready to go always. So I'm just happy to be out there playing with these girls.
Taylor, how important is getting off to a quick start in this game to try to maybe neutralize that crowd a little bit?
I think it'll definitely be a key. Obviously, they're home, so they're going to come out firing, come out with high energy, and they always bring a great crowd. And especially versus us, they're going to try to jump from the jump, I guess. So, but we're going to do the same. And I think just staying consistent throughout the whole game, staying even keel, no matter what goes on during the game, is definitely going to be important for us.
Taylor, your three-point shooting has been, I know maybe not a ton, but the percentage has gone up from last year. Is that just something that you worked really hard on over the offseason? Is that Is there anything that you can point to that maybe you changed with your shot, or just what's kind of led to the improved shooting?
Yeah, I would just say reps. I definitely worked a lot on that in the summer, and then as the seasons began, just continued to get in the gym and work with different people, different coaches, and yeah, it's been nice seeing it show up in games.
I'm sure neither of your
All right, so we're gonna switch over to
You ain't trying to freeze your hands off this
we're gonna
winter. These
switch over
gloves might be for
to
you.
Jen
Not only
Jensen
are
and
they
listen to what
waterproof,
she
they're
had to
thermal
say.
heated with
Like I
polyester
said
fiber,
before,
which
I think this
contains
is
heat,
going to be a
insulated with really
very exciting game between the two. And like I said, Iowa has dominated Iowa State the last couple of times they played them, even last year. So let's jump into Jen Jensen real quick.
Bill Fenley said just one key is to not make it bigger than it is. I mean, obviously it's an important game. It's the first time since I think 2004 that both teams came in undefeated. I mean, how do you balance that?
I think he's probably right as far as the hype within the team, because if you just look at it from a growth standpoint, there's going to be a whole lot of growing to get to where we both want to get to the end of the season. And it'd be nice to just have a really good game that doesn't get lost, right, in all the hype of it. But that's the beauty of these games, right? The rivalry games, even as early as football plays it, right? A lot has played out on both sides of that rivalry by the end of the year. So I think that's a great point. And it's great if you can get it, but it really, since we're not in the same conference, the ramifications at the end of that, if it comes down to a tiebreaker, it's a big game. It's a fun game because it doesn't quite hold the pressure because there's so much length of the season yet, right? It can go topsy-turvy. You can go up or go down for a bit, but how you're playing in February is really going to be the key. So I tend to agree with them on that. And I think anytime if you can just stay steady on those big games, even if it is a conference matchup, that usually bodes better for your growth.
Everybody's going to want to talk about the matchup between Addie Crooks and Ava. Just, I guess, is you being kind of the whether you want to call yourself former post coach, current post coach, just when you look at that matchup, just what makes it so intriguing?
Yeah. Well, I think it's just so fun because they're two really good and very different post players. Ava's more of a 5'4", where Addie is definitely a 5, right? Addie's touch is just really, really incredible. Always has been, even back in the recruiting process. When you let her get it, she's pretty accurate. And then obviously they've done such a great job of developing her and her work ethic. So I think that's the key. She'll want to get it at that block. And if you let her touch it there, it's pretty hard to stop. So I think I think it's going to be a really great matchup. Ever since I've been watching Addie in college, though, I mean, she doesn't really have a bad game. I don't think anybody's really shut her down. So you got to just try to do the best you can and get the rebound when she does happen to miss, but pay a lot of attention to everybody else that can kill you. I think what makes Iowa State so intriguing is Addie is so good and is likely the face of them, and that is right. But when she comes out of the game, they're still really good. I mean, I think they'd be a top 20 team even without Addie Crooks. The way they're shooting the 3 ball, my goodness, how many of them aren't shooting 50%? They're taking care of the ball. I think Jada Williams was exactly probably what they needed.
And that's going to be a key component in that game is how well Iowa going to defend the 3 once they do slow Addie down, and say when Addie gets out of the game, how do they match up? How do they change their defense level to protect the perimeter? Because we've seen when Iowa had played, what's the last team? They shot all them 3s on them. They was, even though Iowa won the game, but you don't want to give up that many 3-pointers to a team that's pretty highly ranked as Iowa State right now. And let me see. They played, who the last team they played? They played Fairfield. Fairfield shot, I think it was like 18 threes in that game. They shot 18 threes in that game. And you cannot allow Iowa State, especially with Addie Crooks leading the nation in scoring, to shoot 18 threes, you would not win that game. So the main focus is to slow Addie down, but at the same time, eliminate the perimeter shooting with the others. Because if you could play defense on the outside perimeter and shut Addie down, then hey, it's going to be. Now, whether Jensen going to look at tape from last year, how they beat Iowa State, but I think, like she said, even if Iowa State didn't have Addie Crooks on this team, they still would have been a top 25 team.
To fill Emily Ryan. So they got a lot of great pieces. So, sometimes when you're playing people and their star goes out for a breather, it's like, oh, she's out. In this particular game, you can maybe like, okay, we're got a little bit of a breather in the sense of like, we don't have to really work so hard at the block, but man, who comes in just gives you a different look. So I'm pretty impressed with them. I mean, always Bill and his staff always have good teams, but I think they have a really exceptional team this year.
Again, me personally, I think that Journey Houston is going to be a big factor in this game, like she was before. I think she's going to be a big factor in this game, like she has been the last couple of games. I think Addie Deal is going to present matchup problems. But like I said before, they have to, and I think they're going to have to utilize every aspect of every game. Now, like I said before, if Chit Chat Wright plays in this game, that is going to be the domino effect. And if Evelyn Rodriguez was to play in this game, then it's going to really stretch. You have more defenders to take away the three. And plus, Emily could get downhill real strong and aggressively. As long as she don't be out of control, it's going to be hard for Iowa State to guard her or Chit Chat. So we're going to see. I'm going to keep y'all posted just in case something news came out about Emily Rodriguez or Chit Chat Wright playing tonight. If not, but tune in tonight at 7 o'clock. I will be going live. Cy-Hawk rivalry. Iowa Hawkeyes and the Iowa State Cyclones. This is your boy, Livewire Sports Media, your midday Wednesday edition. If it ain't live, it's the